on to night number 14. Night number 14. Yeah, we've got 21 nights, and then if we don't finish this the course of our inner awareness, we will have some, I might run a an extra, like a week-long session, a week-long course, so that we can go through the rest. But I think if we can turn on the light of wisdom, we are pretty good. But so tonight we are finishing, actually not finishing, we are going to the light of wisdom, another corner. We finished corner number, well, the material part, which is the reality. When we talk about the triangle of reality, that's what we're talking about, creating that. So we know what we are creating: life that is simple, that's joyful, trusting, and light. Yeah, the four words go together as a pair, like that. And then we look at what wisdom is, and it's simply just the levels of inner awareness. And we learned that there are 5 levels. Yeah, there's a summary. Do you remember this one? Where wisdom is based on that, well, according to the human structure, wisdom is simply that is understood as a concept directed at the state of inner awareness. There are 5 levels of inner awareness, equal to 5 levels of wisdom. Level 1 is a state of inner awareness to do with people, objects, events, phenomenon, and situations, whether right, wrong, good, bad, true, false, should, or shouldn't. About the right, wrong, yeah? Good, bad, true, should, shouldn't. Level 2 is an inner state of awareness that the origin of life begins at the self. Level 3 is a state of zero ego from within. Level 4 is a state of natural knowing from within. Level 5 is an overall state of awareness from within. So these are the summaries, you remember? So there's a summary, they're not the elaborate, levels, but it's just sort of to jog our memory what they are. So it's super good to have when you are just a, sort of a quick reminder. When you read the overall, it's detailed, and it gives you that, like I think, like Annie said yesterday, gives you that picture of, of reference. So you go and you look at, okay, am I in wisdom right now? Yeah, am I actually being level 2 right now? It's got all the points to sort of point us in the right direction. So today we are going to go to level, to the energy part of wisdom. Yeah, the energy part of wisdom. I'll use this one so it's familiar with you all. The energy part of wisdom, and it is at peace, compassion, and respectfully grateful. In that case, then, before we start, is this one here. We need to know, I would love for you to have this picture in mind where we divide the 5 levels this way. In the middle is level 3. Level 3 being the center. Yeah, level 3. Okay, level 3. There. Just sort of have that picture in mind. Have that handy. And then we will talk about this. So we go here. And we know about wisdom already. We know what it should look like. We have, okay, so now the energy. And we know that the reality of something, say a pen, without it being like enough of the plastic, it can't come into reality. Yeah. So we have what we know about wisdom. But you know how you know it, but you can't do anything with it? Like you can sit through a math lesson and you're taught it, but if you don't practice, you don't do it, you don't quite know it. Yeah. Or you might have watched your mum cook for something, a meal, and then you're like, yeah, I've seen it. But then when you come to do it, there's a huge difference to you being able to create one and knowing how to create one. Yeah. So you know about it. Yeah. But you can't say, well, you have it as a reality yet if you haven't applied it. Yeah. And so in this, we know this, and this it's really, really good. Yeah. And now it's important for us to also have the awareness of the energy. Yeah. We have the awareness of the energy. So the energy of wisdom. I would like to show you this. And this one is probably best to show at the inner state, but I love it because it gives us another picture of what the energy looks like. Yeah. So we say energy of the energy of wisdom is this. Why is it even energy of wisdom? If you think about it, yeah, like how very bold, yeah, how very bold to be able to claim that this is the energy of wisdom. Why is it energy of wisdom? Yeah, when we say, oh, I have compassion, don't we sometimes think like, we have to make ourselves small, compromise, sacrifice for the other to be right, and then we have to be wrong? Sometimes we think like that. How is that wisdom? And then we don't want to go into wisdom. So it's important to understand the concepts. Yeah. But before that, I want to, I guess, to point out why it is wisdom. Yeah. Is like, say, this boat here, I think in course number 1, I went through it, but this course number 2, I didn't go through this, like this theory of, we're sailing, we're sort of rowing our boat on the stream, and if it's going with the current, well, then, life is good. But then sometimes it's rocky. This is a rocky boat here, but in rocky water. Then, then what's there for you? The wisdom of energy. Yeah, the energy of wisdom. So if you imagine your boat here has 3 buttons like this, yeah, at your feet. This is why it's wisdom, yeah, because it's at your feet. You can access it anytime. You're rowing your boat and it's rocky and you can't really keep it still. It's off balance. You're wobbling around and you're like, boom, bang, onto one button. You've got 3 life-saving buttons here. That's why they're wisdom, yeah, because they're helpful to your life. So you choose one. And if you choose this one at peace, which we will go into, like I said, this is like to give you that, picture of what it is. You will access the right knowledge if you go in there. Like if you need to know something, you need to know what to do right now, that. Yeah, that's why it's a very, very powerful one. So that button's being first energy. Second is boom, the blue one, compassion. Yeah, I just use blue. Not for any specific reason, but it's more like positive. Anyway, so you will access the right, the conditions of your life. If you have compassion, you will attract the right conditions to your life, such as that's people bringing bringing you opportunities, or even people bringing you the right knowledge as well. So you get the right people bringing the right things to that's the conditions. The water, the rain, allowing the seed to grow. Without those, you can have the right seed for the right fruit. Without the conditions, nothing will come. There's no water, the seed sits still until it rots. Yeah, so we need this one, and that's with compassion. That's how powerful it is. That is the rain, the water, the sun, the oxygen. For us people, it's opportunities. Yeah, the condition of our life, and it brings, and they're brought to us by people. So that's another button that you have if we go to learn the energy. That's how important it is for your lifeboat. And this one is the one that that I don't think we give it enough credit. I don't think we give it enough credit, because what it does is that gratitude, that place of gratitude, or respectfully grateful. When we are respectfully grateful for someone or something, we attract it to us. So the same, if you're respectfully grateful, if you're grateful for a bad lesson, like a painful lesson, you keep attracting them to you. It's actually whatever you are grateful for, you get. Yeah, if you believe that life has to be difficult for you to mature, you will have a difficult life. You will bring it to you. So be careful what you're giving it to, but it is a life button where you can press and you will access this energy, and that will give you access to the right outcomes. If you think about that, that's how powerful it is. Sometimes, you're like, I wonder, you work so hard, you sacrifice your sleep, sacrifice like everything, even our health, to have what we want. Yeah. Are you with me here? We sacrifice our health. We sacrifice our happiness, everything, to have what we want. And yet, what we want comes through gratitude. Is anyone with me about this realization? It's very powerful. You see the powerfulness of that with me? So we work so hard, yeah, so everything, yeah, so that we can have what we want, when in actual fact it just comes through gratitude. If we have gratitude, we'll attract it to us. So are you convinced now that these are wisdom and energy of wisdom, because they are benefiting, they will benefit our life? Yeah, that's why they're wisdom. They're not just energy of anything. Yeah, it's energy that brings wisdom to our life. Yeah, that's why it's wisdom. Okay, so these, I know that I really love it. I love this model that I've designed because it's like, it gives me a picture. It gives me a picture. That's the energy of wisdom. Okay, so now let's move on. Enough of me sitting and enjoying that. So let's start off with at peace. Why do we start with at peace first? Is because of this one here. Yeah, this is where we need to be at peace, coming to our truth. It's the level 3. So we spent our whole life learning level 1. Yeah, learning level 1 already. And so sometimes it's hard to move from level 1 to level 2. Yes, level 2 is where we need to be to create the things we want in our life. But coming from level 1, when we see something is wrong, it's hard to go, okay, life begins with the self, with me. No blaming. Like, have you experienced it before? But sometimes for me, in the past, when I was going through this, I couldn't stop blaming immediately. It's just not possible. When you see it as wrong, you see it as wrong. Yeah. Then you go into your zero nature and you practice and all that. But practicing that zero nature gets so much easier if we can get into your level 3, at peace. Level 3 is where you're at your truth, and that's being at peace. Yeah, so that's why I'm going to share at peace first. It is very powerful, where we go in here first and then we come back out. Yeah, we go in here first and then we come back out. Just a little bit like joy. You know, you go into trying to get what you want first, and then when you can't, you jump into the other side where you're being at peace, release it all, and then you go into level 2, where you're like, okay, life begins with me. I'm going to take action now. What action will I take? So at peace. Would it be okay if I just talk through them today? Yeah? Okay. So here's at peace that I showed, that we used the slide that we had from last time. So instead of drawing it, yeah. So at peace here we have, okay, again, we use the triangle of reality to sort of explain everything. This again is an explanation of, it's a model of the definition. Yeah. So you're going to like it again because I'm going to share another definition with you today. So we have information of what at peace is. What it is that we need to know is its truth. And we know what truth is, yeah? It comes from our hearing, the knowing of hearing, knowing that we are seeing, knowing that we are saying, knowing that we are knowing. Yeah, so that's at peace. That's the information of it. Yeah, and it's not attached to the traits or the emotion. It's just purely in that middle truth, the knowing, the seeing, the saying, the hearing. Yeah, so that's basically it for at peace. Very simple. Yeah, that's all we need to know, that you just go to your truth. And we learned about truth already, that inner, that nothingness, that you're not thinking of what the other person's saying. You're just know that you're hearing them speaking. If someone's being rude to us, yeah, you're not thinking about what they are saying to you, because now you're differentiating, and that is in the character traits. So just, yeah, I know that they are, yeah, they're saying, and you know it all. You know what they are saying. You're not ignoring. You're not numb to it. Yeah. So that's truth. The energy of at peace is when that ideation and greed of, money, beauty, fame, sleep, eating, our need for that is stopped or paused or let go of or released. So I go from this way, released first. So it goes through your body, and then you let it flow through your body. If you feel the charge, you let it flow through your body. Right now, I want to have, I want to have fame. I want someone to notice me, but they're not. Release that. And then when you let it course through your body, you then pause it, and then you can let it go. Because from letting go, you know that, oh yeah, I'm just in my character traits, and oh yeah, I'm just human. I have my wants and my needs, and right now I don't think I'm getting it. So I'm gonna let go of that because I'm human. I'm allowed to have that. I'm just in my traits. It's much easier to let go that way. That's why we need to really know the human structure well. Yeah. So you understand, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just there. Me being in my humanness. Yeah. And then you stop. You stop wanting. When you stop wanting, do you remember joy? Do you remember the slide I had on joy? If you have joy, go back to joy, the picture of joy. There's two ways of getting it. This is my original. Let me get the one I was sharing with you. Here we are. This one. Do you remember joy? Yeah. That. So this side is having greed and ideation is when you're satisfied with these. It's being satisfied. And at that same time, you will be at peace. There you go. At peace also brings you joy. At peace if that greed of money, beauty, ideation, fame, sleeping, and eating are released, paused, stopped, or let go of. That's where you access peace. And that's within you. So your truth is always with you. You can rely on it. It won't flop on you. Yeah, you can rely on it everywhere, any day, anytime, any circumstance. Yeah. Okay, so that's that one. Let me just put my joy back to where it's supposed to be. Otherwise, I will, when I need it, I don't know where to look. When I come to it, I won't find it. There we go. Now I can find it. Okay, so that is the energy that will bring you at peace. So when you are able to do that, you will feel this. Once that's the case, the reality of it, of being at peace, you know that you are at peace when you will know that you are hearing. Like you will be able to do it. Here, you just sort of know it. That's how it's supposed to be. Here, you'll be able to do it. Yeah, you get it. Once you can do this, you access this. Yeah. So this one is just for us to recognize, really. Yeah, it doesn't come from thinking. Truth doesn't come from thinking. It's just a place. So when you are at peace, you know. Yeah? And if not, you can sort of come close to it using our mind, using what we know, we can come close to it. Or at least we know that we're not there. And then we just release it. And that's when it comes. Yeah, we release the need to be at peace. Because the more you need to be at peace right now, the more you're far away from it. Yeah. Okay, so that's at peace. What I'll do now is, again, I'll read through the definition so that you can write it down. Please write it down. Please write it down. It is a very therapeutic place to be. And, as you write it, it seeps in. And then it'll become part of you. When you need to be at peace, it's there. Because, of course, what you know, the information that you have is you. Yeah, you are what you know, what you believe, what you understand. So let's first know it. And I think you already sort of understand. So you know it, then it helps that understanding a little bit deeper. Okay, so being at peace, the definition. At peace is an inner state of awareness during which the human character traits of, I'll read it again slowly. Being at peace. At peace is an inner state of awareness during which the human character traits of greed and ideation, so these two here, to do with money, beauty, fame, food, and sleep, are released, paused, let go of, and stopped. So I'll read it again. Being at peace is the definition. At peace is an inner state of awareness. So like we said, everything's the inner state of awareness during which the human character traits of greed and ideation, to do with money, beauty, fame, food, sleep, are released, are paused, are let go of, are stopped. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. Yeah. So our ideation, our traits are paused, released, paused, and stopped. So it's the unattachment when we talk about having lightness in our life, when we can unattach. Yeah. First we attach because we want to create it, and then we're unattached. And then we're at peace. Then we go back and attach again. So it's exactly like the weights. Yeah, you're carrying, if it's so heavy, you can't really walk further. you hold on to it, but you're going to drop it on your feet somehow. But if it's heavy already and you just sort of put it down, have a rest for a little bit, being at peace. Have a rest for a little bit. Then you can pick it up again. Now you can move maybe 3 more steps. Or you can bench another 3 more. Yeah, that sort of allows you to have that lightness so you can have more. Always remember, you feel light, not because life is so hard and you're not capable. So you can feel light so that you can go further and have more. Yeah, so that's being at peace.
Zero ego.
It is the zero ego. That's right. It's a state of being in that zero ego. Oh, what's this one? All right, so now a person. Yeah, this one you can look at. This one is to prank that person. It's very interesting. This one, I always get this, like this weird, this not weird, this look, yeah, a puzzlement when you go through this, because it's being at peace. At peace looks like this. Okay, a person, that's why I drew a face here. A person who has achieved an inner state of at peace is when, and I'll read it. This is a little bit of a mind muddle, but it's very important to write it this way. Yeah. So a person who has achieved an inner state of at peace is when, okay, whether they can or cannot satisfy the greed and cognition of their human character traits, no longer decide the sense of joy. So let's go back to joy. Are you with me there? So whether they can or cannot satisfy the greed and cognition of their human character traits, no longer decide the sense of joy. So this means here, you know how we have joy? By satisfying this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So whether you have it or not, it doesn't decide your joy anymore. No longer necessary. Whether you have it or not have it. Which is this one. You with me? Because it stopped. Your need for it stop. Which is, are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
So whether you have this or not have this, not cannot decide my joy. My joy is mine to decide. Yeah, like I'm going to have joy right now. I'm not going to have joy right now. Is here within me. So whether or not this word satisfied here, whether or not we are, doesn't decide whether we're joy or not. Yeah, that's all. So that's the muddle part. Okay, now this one is even more interesting. More interesting, this one. They have achieved an inner state of at peace when they hear, yeah, when they hear or see the suffering of another person, that person is suffering, yeah, of another, they only know that they are hearing and seeing. Yeah, it's not that nice. Do you know what I mean? When we're talking about humanness, when we say, you know, being nice, it's not a nice look. It's I just know that I'm hearing. I just know that I'm seeing. It's very unattached. That's when doing, but not doing. owning but not owning. Whether you're my wife, whether you're my daughter, whether you're my husband, whether you're my son, in the face of their suffering of another, all I know, if I'm at peace, all I know is I know that I'm hearing and I'm seeing. Why is that so powerful? It's so different to numb, yeah? It looks like you are, when you're like stunned and you're like, like frozen. It's not the frozenness, but it looks like that because you just know that you're hearing, you know that you're seeing, but you're not numb, because from here, this place, you hear very deeply and you will know what you need to do in that moment so that you can be there for them. Yeah? Or for yourself, whatever that comes. Basically, this is when you have that, adversity, and you just know that you're hearing and you know that you're seeing. That's at peace. So I hope that gives you a picture of what at peace looks like. So we don't look for at peace thinking that it's something great and, unachievable and like, you need to be the Zen looking person and then you float. Yeah, it feels like you're floating. I would say it's very, very powerful, but that's what it is. And it's not achieved by thinking. Yeah. When you are at peace, you will know when situations like that happen, you just know that you're at peace, where you're very calm. Yeah. So that's a person who has achieved an inner state of at peace. One is this, the triangle compassion, and then we're going to do a little activity where I'm going to ask you questions. So, okay. So compassion, again, information, energy, and material in this triangle here. Well, I drew a triangle. I could just draw the other way. Compassion is an unattachment. A lot to do with attachment and unattachment. Compassion is to do with unattachment. The energy is, again, the same as the energy of at peace. It's the ideation of greed of, money, beauty, fame, sleep, and eating. Sleeping and eating are paused. Yeah, pause, stop, or let go of that. And the material of it is, so far at peace, the material is that you know that you're hearing, you know that you're seeing, you know that you're saying, and you know that you're knowing. This one, what it looks like, the reality of it is you will have respect, you have understanding, and you have acceptance. It's very much in the traits area. Yeah, so you have to know what respect looks like, what an understanding is, but you will have respect and understanding and acceptance of the other. So let's do a little, because this one, I don't want to, I need to take you through this. Yeah, okay, let's, rather messy. I reckon I can. Okay, without drawing. Let's do this. Okay, so let's look at 4 words, and I would love for you to tell me the difference between them. Compassion, tolerance, forgiveness, altruism. Do they sort of all mean the same thing to you? Forgiveness, compassion, tolerate another.
I know that one.
Altruism is, when you're sort of like, make it less than what it is. Don't, yeah, like not hold people. So here we have these beautiful, all these words are very beautiful. Yeah, they're very understanding and respectful of the other. Yes, if we forgive others, we move forward. We tolerate others. Okay, accepting people to be human. So all these are very humane. Yeah, so very it has a level of acceptance of the human traits, the human character traits. Yeah, and again, the human character traits, because we have the traits and then we have the energy level that fluctuates, and then it drives that outer layer. Shall I bring it up? no, the outer layer into, anger or ignorance, all of that. Yeah. So here's the thing about this. Without it, so we say, okay, well, we don't have to forgive. We just move on with our life. Yeah. Without, what happens without these, I think, is an important, like super important place to explore. Yeah. So we can say, no, I don't want to tolerate. I don't have to. It's my life. I don't have to. What happens is, it doesn't mean that it goes, that it's level. It's nothing. It's not nothing. So imagine without forgiveness, without tolerance, without altruism, without compassion, what would life look like? Yeah, what would life look like? So say, if we don't have those, yeah, we can be, would you agree here? Yeah, we can be sensitive to the fault of others. If we don't have forgiveness, we don't have tolerance, we don't have compassion, we don't have this altruism. Would you say that? Yeah, we become sensitive to people's faults. Yeah, we pick faults, like that's wrong. Yeah, you don't do that to me. Yeah, and we can be easily triggered. True or not? We get like upset easily because we don't accept. We judge others, and then we multiply their faults. Yeah, one little thing becomes bigger. Are you with me? Now that's okay. Well, that's fine. That's still okay. Now what? So what happens when that happens? What happens is, when this here happens, what will happen is we will leave the relationship with that person or that work that we are at, or that means like we check out. Yeah, we leave or we check out. We impose on the other, so especially our children or loved ones. We control them, we impose on them, we want them to do this thing and this way and that way, or we manipulate them. Yeah, we control. Or worse, we think we can do this. We can punish them. I'll teach you a lesson. Have you heard of that before? I'll teach you a lesson. And this is a little bit, it's not pushing us into this, but that's why we're on this journey to learn. But as a parent, yeah, sometimes don't we say, yeah, it hurts me, but I have to do this to you. Teaching them a lesson through punishment. And we say that that's okay. So without compassion, without forgiveness, tolerance, or altruism, does not mean it gets to zero. It becomes this. We are either here or here. We're accepting people, or we check out on people. We don't help them. We don't try. We're not benefiting. We check out on them when they need help. Or we make them, we control them. We help them by controlling them or punishing them. Yeah. This is not being, when we talk about the integrity, that inner state of integrity, this one is like to satisfy our need, not so much to help. Yeah. So that's a little bit of the heaviness of this, but I want to show that it's not without is not zero. Yeah, zero is balance. Balance is at peace. It's the highest, because that's when we truly let another person live. Okay, so then what is compassion? All right. Is that heavy? Not heavy. Okay, so let's explore the 4 levels. I really don't want to draw tonight. Why don't I draw tonight? I'm feeling a bit lazy. Okay, so let's explore these 4. So to know what compassion is, we have to know what it's not. Yeah, and so these 4 here, they're really beautiful, and sometimes we get all muddled up between the 4 of them. So these are the different degrees. Compassion is the highest degree, forgiveness at the lowest. But it's really good. Yeah, we're not saying that forgiveness is not good, but here just so that we can see, to differentiate, so we can see what compassion actually is. Yeah, so let's look at forgiveness. Forgiveness is say someone who does something and we don't like. Yeah, it's against our ideation and greed of that thing is not what we want. So it hurts us. Yeah, let me see if okay, this one. So it hurts us. Okay. So this is the fault. So you pretend, yeah, pretend that this one Bin comes home and he said something, yeah, out of somewhere. And then me, in my ideation, I had had a good day and he mentioned something and it triggered me. Yeah. And that moment I'm like hurt 100%. So imagine these are divided by 10 parts. 10 parts. I'm 100% hurt by it. It's absolutely wrong. It is absolutely wrong. He should never have said that. That hurt me so much. It makes me feel unseen, unloved, uncared for, unworthy, everything. So I'm going to sit on it. Over time, I'm going to go to, I don't know, go for a walk. After half an hour, I come back with forgiveness because I have forgiveness. I'm like, you know, it's not that bad. You know, maybe had a bad day, whatever. It's not that bad. I'm hurt 7%, 70%. It's still wrong. Like if he mentions that if someone comes and I have to talk about it, I'll still be hurt because he's still done wrong by me. So, but I've forgiven him a little bit. So it's, you know, it's like, yeah, it's not that big a deal. It's okay. Let's eat. That's forgiveness. Yeah. Okay. Altruism. Ignore the bar there for now. So this one, I want you to focus on this one. Please focus on this one. It's going to turn a little bit. A bit messy. Be with me. I know what to do. I'll do it this way. I'll use this paper again. Don't worry. I'm a paper saver. Okay, so here, altruism. Yeah. So the same situation. Vin comes home, says something, you know, insensitive to my world, I'm making it like, he's so insensitive. Should have thought about my day. I had a bad day too. So, but altruism is, it hits me only 70%. Yeah, 70%. Then I'm like, Then over time, I went for a walk. So not like forgiveness, not like 10 all 10, but no, somewhat. Yeah, I am affected by it. Then I went for a walk. I came back and I'm like, it's not that bad. I have fresh air now. I'm good. It's about 5. I hold into it. So yes, when you mention it, I'm still, you know, like it's still there. Okay, that's altruism. Okay, so now let's look at tolerance. Tolerance is the same thing happens, but it's less. I'm hurt by it. So that the level of hurt, that level of holding him responsible for that action that shouldn't have happened. You with me? Yeah. And that's about 5. So I'm like, what? Yeah. And then like, I'll go for a walk or I'm cooking. And then over time, it's gone down to a little bit. There's only a little bit left. And when I think about it, it hurts, but that's not, I could live with it. Yeah. So that's tolerance. Compassion is that. He does something exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's not something I want. Yeah, it's exactly the same. I put some. Say, for example, he comes home and he just kicks his shoes. Yeah, and I'm really particular with shoes being lined up neatly or whatever. And I just mop the floor. Yeah, and he's like, just kicked his shoes. The same scenario. The same scenario. Yeah, he kicked his shoes here. Like, oh my goodness, how dare you? You don't consider me. I work so hard. Yeah, here, this one. What? Why did you do that? And then this one is like, oh, yeah, like really? Do you have to do that? Just have to pick it up for it. Yeah, this one, he did the same thing. He kicked his shoes there. I just look at it. Yeah, it's just, I know that he kicked the shoes and he didn't put it in the right place. But it's no hurt. It's just what it is. I know, yeah. So in the energy of it, of compassion, yeah, The energy of it is a pause. That greed, the ideation. So I thought that he's whatever. My greed, oh, I want him to put the shoes away. I paused. I'm unattached to the need for the shoes to be in a certain place. But it doesn't mean that I'm okay with the shoes not being there. Yeah. I'm not happy with it. It is not to be there, but I'm just seeing it. That's compassion. There's no fault in that behavior. It's just a behavior. Thank you. I saw your heart. Appreciate you. Yeah, I want that to sit in. Like what? But that's wrong. The moment you see it's wrong, you're in one of those. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you are okay with it. You know how we miss this compassion part, that middle part, that compassion part where it's like it's either wrong, then it's wrong, or it's right. But but it's wrong. Yeah, it's still wrong. Yeah, but it doesn't affect. It doesn't have that attachment of you needing it to be a certain way. You want it to be a certain way, but you are not attached to the fact that it's not that certain way that you want. That's compassion. So why is this very different? Why is this energy of wisdom and not these? These are not energy of wisdom, although it's beautiful. Yeah, and if we can't get to compassion, let's stay here. Yeah, but why is it so important? Because oh my God, this is really good. Yeah, this one here makes a difference between compassion and forgiveness and altruism and tolerance, and you know it. Yeah, you can't fool yourself whether you do or whether you're, you know, I have compassion. It didn't bother me, Lynn. Yeah, I pause. You will know what happens is that same behavior the next week. I have a crying baby. I'm off the floor. I'm off the floor. And he comes home and he kicked his shoes again, muddy shoes. It was raining outside. Kicked his shoes again. The same action. What happens, do you think, if I have forgiven him there, yeah? And he did it again. What will happen to that energy? Do you think it's less or more? This is the second time. First time, it's wrong. How dare you? You know, you should have known. Yeah. The next week, now you should have known. It should have known. Now it will multiply. That hurt. It's like, but you did it last time. But I already told you.
So you can pick up the shoes for
Yeah. And yes, because of its forgiveness, you hold the mistake within them and you hold it to their responsibility to change, because now we want another person to change. We will make them. Now it's like, how could you? It multiplies. Forgiveness will multiply if it repeats. Yeah, forgiveness means the fault will multiply if it repeats. Can I say that again?
what?
Forgiveness, when you forgive someone, if that fault repeats, the fault multiplies in your eyes. And then up to a point, you can't stand anymore. And now what? You either leave them, you check out on them, you shout at them, you control them, you abuse them, you will punish them. Our children, we can't leave, so we punish. Our husband, we threaten. We do the silent treatment. Yeah, all sorts for them to change. That's what forgiveness is. Yeah, not wrong, not bad, but when the fault happens again, and human, yeah, how can we not repeat our faults? Yeah, come on. You forgive yourself once, twice is okay too. 3 is okay. 5, 10 times, it's still okay. I mean, it's not, you know, human. We're human, yeah. But forgiveness does that. So the fault increases. The same with altruism. What happens when it's 7? Next time it'll be 14. It multiplies or it gets bigger because it's still a fault, because we see it as a fault. But what happens? Yeah, the same. What happens when it's compassion? it was never a fault in the first place. So when you multiply it even a gazillion times, even if it's a 100 times that your son, my son, yeah, may do a mistake, even if it's 100 times, it's never a fault before. I can patiently wait for him to change based on whatever time he's ready, because guess what? The trust. People can change over time for the better. And this knowledge can change people. Yeah, hoping for change. I'm not saying that it's okay. I would never say to him, become someone throw the shoes. It's okay. You do the best you can, and that's, I'll live with it. I'm not going to accept that. I will do my best to make sure that he puts the shoes away, but it's not a fault with him. I don't see him. Can you see now the difference between people and situations or work? The shoes still need to be put away. Yeah. But if I have compassion, yeah, in that moment, and this is a scenario, not that it happened before. So this is a scenario, and I'm not saying that I'm a saint to do this, but with compassion, it'll be him throwing his shoes, and all I need to do is to see it and say, hey, babe, I just mopped the floor. Would you be able to put the shoes away before you come into the house? And then the next time he comes, I'll throw the shoes again and say, hey, babe, I just cleaned the house. Would you be able to put the shoes onto the rack? And do you think after 10 times like that he'll know to put the shoes onto the shelf? And see how that is the wisdom, because it keeps the relationship. It's loving, it's kind, and therefore it has respect, understanding, and acceptance of the other. So as the other is hearing this, as Bin is hearing this, do you feel he feels respected? He feels understood, because it's just he understanding that he's human, understanding that he's just made a mistake, understanding that he just by default that he wasn't observing. It has nothing to do with, so that's an understanding. It has nothing to do with a reflection of love and acceptance. So that when that many times happens again, and that's why it's wisdom, because only through there where we can live with that same mistake repeating. And I think I will leave it there.